Hey, welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have everybody here. If you're new and you're wondering what the hell is this madness, this is where we hang out with you good folks for the next hour or so, where we'll do some roster reviews, we'll answer your questions, and just let madness ensue and have fun. That's what it's all about, is bring you something fun to listen to during your lunch stream, whether you're listening to us live or later on, whether you're listening to us on YouTube or downloading us as a podcast from iTunes, things of that nature. Just some quick notes as friendly reminders. Stop what you're doing. Give us a thumbs up on the video. It helps us with our content when we're putting it out there, out to the YouTube world. The more thumbs up and stuff we have, the more people will get a chance to see it. If you haven't subscribed already and you're watching this, please subscribe. It helps with monetization. The more subscribers we get, the more our channel gets known. So please help us with that. Big shout out to all our Patreon sponsors. We hit our second goal for Patreon sponsors, which is really amazing. Really appreciate everybody that is a Patreon sponsor. You guys are what keeping us afloat and able to put all this content out. If you'd like to become a Patreon sponsor, we have everything from $5 on up. And our Patreon sponsors we try to shout out all the time. So thank you guys for your Patreon support. And of course we have the ACS stuff, the American Cancer Society. We are running a half marathon here in 2 months, and we are going to be needing your help to raise the money for that. And we will get to more of that information here at the end of the stream. That being said, that's all the stuff. That's all the information. Now, if you have a question that you'd like to ask us, please put that in chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. If you don't, we will miss it, and that's on you, not us. But if you put question in front of there, we will make sure to get it, and we will scoop those up and get to those after our roster reviews. That being said, let's introduce all the knuckleheads that are here with us today. We've got knucklehead number one, the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn. Medicine Woman is here.
If I was an ice cream cone, what would you do to me?
Burn you at the stake with a silver cross or something? I don't know. Also here, who you know him as the soulless one, Mr. Gingivitis, Ginger Snap Ninja himself, Stanley Rhodes here.
Hey.
And last but not least, Grim the Mechanic is here.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, how's it going with you? So, glad to see everybody in chat. It's another wonderful day. I spent all day doing schoolwork yesterday, so yeah. But I got that done. I'm caught up, getting ready to finish my degree. Always a good thing. And now it is time to move on to bigger and better things today, which is we're going to do the lunch stream, and then we're going to do some Battlefront today. I've got my homies hanging out with me. We're going to do some Battlefront, have some fun. First thing I need to do is I need to spend this damn mod energy, and I forgot who I was working on. Well, shit. Oh, man. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. I was working on my Jedi. Well, just do some mod stuff here real quick, and then we will rock and roll. Let me just scoop some stuff up, and then we will get to the roster reviews. We got 2 roster reviews today, like we have been. I'm just excited that we'll be finally able to be done with them here soon. All right, that's done. Good. All right, good. All right, let's do some roster reviews. All right, let me pull it up. There we go. And our first one we're doing is Darth Jar Jar's profile. They're in Dark Lord's Empire. Wait a minute, where's Grande? Every time, Finn.
Would you expect anything else?
No. You can hope. Rebellions were built on hope, Finn. I don't know if you knew that, but we're doing Darth Jar Jar's profile.
Man, it's getting to the point to where we're going to have to start charging for Dark Lord's roster reviews.
No, we're not going to do that. All right, see what he wants today. He says, my current projects are Garen Revan, team, farming Old Republic shards and Ewok shards, okay, finishing my bounty hunter ships. I want to be better in territory war, but I really enjoy raids. What could I start working on next? Well, that's a quick question. That's easy. It's both. Are my current projects where I should be, or should I be looking at something else? I haven't worked on my TV squads like Rolo or Rogue One enough. Should I worry about this? And generally, what am I missing? What should I be spending crystals on? I buy all the refreshes except fleet. Should I save? Keep doing what I'm doing? Buy gear? What should I spend resources in, basically? Okay, a lot of stuff here. So let's just get to a couple quick ones. What should I be spending my crystals on? The bare minimum energy you need to be farming your characters. I would be hoarding everything right now. We got a lot of reworks and possible new characters coming. I'm telling you, you need to be hoarding like a mo-fracky. One thing you should be... I think they just announced where the first Emperor's Palpatine ship's going to be. It's ship energy?
Yep.
Yeah. Fleet
nodes.
energy, yep. So I would definitely hold on to your fleet energy. Do the 3 battles a day that you need because they're part of your dailies, but hoard that crap for the next couple days. Just let it build up. And then, maybe spend some crystals there when the day it comes. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm not going to be doing anything but letting that build up. So
hopefully they let us know his kit in the next day or so.
Well, yeah, but we'll see what it is. I'm going to save up my fleet energy. Why not? And then we're going to get to the rest of your stuff. So let's look here. Let's just pull up your... He's working on getting Revan, so that means he's using his Sith team. Looks like you're doing fine with fleets. We don't really need to go over that. Good Lord. Got Han Solo's ship outstanding, so good job there. So let's just start going through his characters and his roster. We know he's gearing Revan, so let's just take a look at where he's at with that. Let's go right to his Jedi and look at that. Okay. Revan's 9. I wonder what's holding him up, Finn. I'm not going to say anything, Carbantes. Stun
what are
guns.
these Carbantes you speak of?
What are these droid collars and stun guns you pertain to? Jolie's fine. I mean, if this is going to be your team, they're going all the way to gear 12. But if you want to start using them, then once you get Revan to 11, you can start rock and roll. You are going to need his other Zeta. I don't know which 2 you've done. I hope it's the leader.
Leader and...
Okay, this is direct focus, I'm hoping.
Yeah. It says he has Zeta on both.
All right.
Both Hero and General of the Republic.
Yeah, he has 2. He doesn't have direct focus, so that's the one.
We were going to need Zeta on that before you start running around with the Revan. You need it. It makes a huge difference. So we know.
Sorry about that. It just updated for me. It said Revan only had 1 Zeta when I clicked on him.
How dare you, sir.
And then it said 2.
How? 2 Zetas on the Revan. 3 Zetas on... I'm out. Let's see here. So that's his Jedi team. I think he's in a good spot. He's getting there. So he's just 1 Zeta away and getting Revan up, and I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I saved the hell out of that, and Finn still... Is yours 12 now, Finn? Or are you still working on it?
Mine is 12 and used in arena.
Okay, good. All right, next one. Let's just go down your list.
I need to get 1 more gear 12 plus.
I mean, he says he's farming. Let me go back here. Old Republic shards, which I'm fine with, and Ewok shards, probably working for his 3PO. So that's what he's currently working on. He says he's finishing Bounty Hunter ships. Okay. Bounty Hunters look fine. No problems there. And that's a good Territory War team. First Order. Just needs gear, but that's maybe a possibility. I understand why they're not working on gear right now. I'm not worried about gear because we know you're working on... You're working on Revan. Yes, it's pretty much all over. Troopers are 10. Does have the Zeta on Veers. So again, a gear thing, but that's not... I mean, we know what's going on, so again, don't need to reiterate that. Night Sisters. They're gear 11, so that's good. Let's see how you are doing on your Old Republic on the other characters. So he's working on Bass and Candor, so it looks like they're already 4-star, so those are fine for those 2. You mentioned Rogue One for light side territory battles. So you've got the characters 7-star. Okay, you don't have bays done. Ooh.
It could be done without bays. I mean, he's got a 7-star.
Yeah, right. Get out of here.
Scarif.
You get out of here. They're all gear 7, so get the hell out of here.
But you do want to work on bays because bays is awesome. I mean,
that's like saying
important.
What the?
Oh. Yeah, but he's so far away on all of his Rogue One that, I mean, you should work on his shards, but it's going to be a while before your Rogue One is able to beat, like, the last tier.
Wow, I just got virused. Warning. GG, I'm not going to use your stuff anymore. This is
get you hooked up with a script blocker.
Is it a sexy virus?
No, it is not the sexy virus.
Oh, then I'm just disappointed. But yeah, your Rogue One. Yeah, you definitely need to work on the shards for Baze so you can get him up to 7-star. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily work on their gear yet because you have a lot of gear that you need to invest in order to get your Rogue One to be viable enough for that end, right? But if you're switching over to a Revan team, you have Revan that needs gear. You have Jolie that you really need to get to gear 12. And then, after that, maybe, but I would probably work on some of your Imperial troopers, like your Death Trooper and your Stark and your Shore Trooper. Get your Imperial Trooper team going. You have your First Order team that's still kind of sitting there that I think is more worthwhile than your Rogue One team. So I think you're probably better off waiting on your Rogue One. I know you want to do it for territory battles. I understand that, but I'm pretty sure overall you're better off with some of the other teams that you have available to work on gear-wise.
All right, now hopefully none of that garbage happens again. GG, clean up your crap, man. You're going to have advertisers on here? You better start checking or I'm not going to use your site anymore. Seriously.
I was just looking on the stream, and that stuff that's not a virus. That's one of the ones that it's a phishing site. It tricks you into clicking on their buttons so they can steal your shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, after the stream, I need to hook you up with some script blockers and stuff.
Yeah, I've got stuff on, but I don't know why that's popping up. I don't know, maybe I have my settings on my firewall and other stuff showing and pop-ups not all selected. I don't know. Rebels, we just need 3PO. Is it even unlocked? It is not unlocked. Ooh. Let's look at your Ewoks.
Looks like he's working on low-grade Paplu right now.
Yeah, keep farming your Ewoks. That's fine. That's another pillar character that you need. So, yes. Yeah, pretty. I mean, yeah. It's a team you can just farm. You got Wiccan almost done, Chirpers almost done. You're working on low grade Poplu. You get those done. Don't worry about gear on those right now. Just get them to 7 stars. You know, and a lot of them are in the stores, things of that nature. Don't worry about Tebow or Scout. If you get those 5s going, and then next couple of months when 3PO comes around, then you can throw some gear on there. But again, we know where your gear's going. Revan! Another thing that we're looking at is droids. I'm just looking at it because, they did announce the Grievous rework, so I would farm your characters to 7 stars if you want. That's fine. He's done a good job with droids. No problem there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to start collecting Grievous from Shard Shop or something
if you want to collect stars, that's totally fine. But
don't start prematurely gearing.
No. Scoundrel, let's just look. Looks solid. Emphasis got the Zeta in gear 11. Pretty solid. Kiri, you can tell he's been working on. Yeah, he's working on the characters for the stall team. Eventually you're going to need Vandor Chewie, so he's only at 12, I think, so you can get some shards of him done if you want to mix him in. So that's fine there. He's got Aura Singh done. Wow. So you got some characters done here that I really like. Last Sith, and then we'll go Resistance. Trey, you can tell he's working on. She's got both Zetas. That's good. She's 5 stars, but she's gear 11. Good. Other Sith are fine. All gear 11 or higher. That's fine. And then Resistance. Looks totally fine. I mean, the other 5 Resistance, he could work on gear, but that's further down the line. Zeta Finn. He does have a Zeta Finn, but he needs Poe, Finn, and all them. I can tell he's working on Holdo. She's 6 stars. That's good. Work on your pilot. You're going to add another one in there. That's a good one to have, but again, that's further down the line. So, I mean, looking at your roster, pretty solid roster, man. You're about to unlock Revan. I know that puts a stall to everything that you're kind of working on, especially with the gear. I mean, trust me, I know. To get better, so here's the thing. You say you want to be better in Territory Wars. The raids will take care of themselves if you just focus on Territory Wars because you're gearing teens and stuff like that. Now, there's a little bit of modding difference that you may want to consider, but I really don't care about that. Once you get the teams to gear 12, you do really, really well. Some do better than others because they mod specifically for the raids. I don't worry about that crap. But for you, for Territory Wars, some things that you're going to have to do. Finn already touched on it. Get Revan done, then go back in for some of these teams that you do have done, that you can contribute more to your guild and your Territory Wars. We've got some teams that are 7-starred but are not geared. So once Revan's done, really it looks like First Order, your troopers down the line, those are the teams you want to worry about gear. However, I'm going to offer this caveat. I don't know how you feel about this, Finn. We're up in the air on so much crap right now. People are wondering what should they be doing with their gear and or crystals and or resources for this month. I've been getting this asked a lot. My question is just hold on, right? Stay focused on the specific things you're working on. Farming is farming. Keep on your farming plan. But like gear, crystals, credits, all that stuff, I've been suggesting keep a hoard because we do not know what in the heck is going on this month. We got the shuttle coming up. You can get some energy from that. That's not going to really affect any of your crystals. You can spend some of your crystals for it, but that's fine. But that's it. Grievous is coming out with all the new droids. Hold off on that and let us look at it and evaluate it before you spend anything. And we've had the wool pulled over our eyes before, Finn, where we got Chewie. Next time Revan's here. So that's kind of why I'm like, you really need to hold on to your resources because we don't even know if the droids are going to be good and that nature. What are your thoughts on that? And especially for someone like this, that's farming's fine. Stick with your farming plan. But besides Revan, would you say hold on to your gear for a person like this for this month?
Yeah, definitely hold on. I mean, there's really no reason to spend unless you know for sure the team is going to become viable for something. And so Revan should be, at this point, the only one that I think you should be spending on.
Yeah.
Everything else you can kind of wait.
And he says, what should I be spending my crystals on? You should be doing enough to do the farms that you're working on. That's it.
I would do all of your regular energy, the 350s, particularly because there's a lot of stuff that's in hard nodes right now that I would want to try and finish.
Yeah.
It's pronounced tree fitties.
Oh, now that like this monster coming back again? Shut up, woman. I gave him 350 before. Sandy said so.
So. And
then to save the rest, I'm hoarding. So. But I think your farming plan is fine. You're working on a lot of characters. You've unlocked a lot of characters. There's some that you heard from us talking about that you need to work on. Do that, but try to save crystals because at the end of the month, you may need them, right? You may need them for whatever's going to be launched here very soon. And Revan's still going to take you a while. Ugh, that dude, he's something else, man. Every time I think of Revan, I'm like, that was a buttload of Corbantes. 400 Corbantes, 150 stun guns, and 150 droid collars alone is daunting. So, yeah, it's cray. But let's get your Revan team up and running. That'll give you another solid team. The good thing I like about your roster is that you really have focused on the right stuff. It's you've got some teams that are done. Night Sisters, Bounty Hunters. We got to get you 3PO. I think that's the last pillar you need. Was the only one I didn't see in there was 3PO. And so you're really in a pretty decent spot. It's just, you're, again, in that position to where now we're rounding off. We're still working on farms, but it's going to be after Revan. Hold on, see what happens, and then we can start focusing on, and you can pick one, it doesn't matter. Troopers, which I would because they're 10, a couple are 11. Get them to at least 11. Same thing with First Order. And then you can have another 2 teams that are viable in Territory Wars or raids or whatever you want so that you can get the most bang for your buck. So that's kind of what I would kind of do. So all right. Am I missing anything else for this? Hold on, someone just messaged. I'm getting pinged in Discord. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that covers everything. So yeah, should I be buying? I buy all the refreshes, 50s. So yeah, I wouldn't buy all of them, like we were just saying, just the energies in particular. Yeah. So start saving as many crystals as you can.
And
I think that covers everything
he
for
says
Dark
he's
JJ.
farming bounty hunter ships.
Yeah, those are all hard nodes. That's why you have to do your 350 crystal
That's
refreshes
a lot
for your
of.
energy.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
All of the nodes, and I would not ignore your Sith ships as well. The B-28 and the Sith fighter and Sith fighters from Fleet.
It's done pretty good jobs. Indy's 5. I like that.
But yeah, I would start to work on those because there's a chance that there's going to be some Sith needed ships for whatever new content is coming. So something to kind of work on as well. And regular energy right now is the best resource.
Okay,
so there you go.
Okay, so and Jar Jar, if you have any questions, you've done a great job on your ships, by the way. I mean, for what you've been not getting in arena, you've been getting in fleet because you're finishing top 10 and stuff like that. So you've got that crystal income coming in. The fact that you've got Han Solo's Millennium Falcon says a lot. That's a good job, and that's really going to help you for a while stay top 10 easily in ships, and that's a good way to get your crystal income. And then once you get Revan done, your crystal income is really going to improve. So if you can maintain both of those once you get Revan done, brother, you're good. If you get top 5 in both those every day, I mean, you are good. It's a lot. It's a lot of battles, but I mean, yeah. All right, so that's your roster. I think we covered everything, Jar Jar. If you have questions about your roster that we just covered, then get with us, and we will be more than glad to help you out. All right, next one we're doing is 10 Bears profile, and they are in, wait a minute, they're in Reality Skewed Gamer side. What the? Oh.
And look whose leader is actually here for the review.
I know. Finn, I give you a lot of crap, but damn it, you are here for your homies. Unlike some other people who I won't name.
Hideous.
Sorry. I was going to say Grande.
Hideous is Little Grande, so it all works the same.
Oh.
Okay, so
the
10
other,
Bears is
other Grande. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do this one. This is you, Finn. It's just, but 10 Bears says review overall, but I want to focus on farm priorities and mod critique. So this is all you, homie.
All right. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and check his Old Republic and see where he is on the Revan farm, and he has a 7-star Revan. So focus on farming priorities. Is you have your Old Republic, so you don't have to worry about that. Looking at what characters that you don't have at 7-star right now. I mean, there's a lot of lower characters that you don't have right now as I'm scrolling through this. Gar Saxon, Clone Wars Chewie.
Oh, no.
The ones that I notice off the bat that may be worthwhile for you are going to be the Kira Scoundrels. Kira Scoundrels are a really good team that you can utilize, and all you need, in addition to what you've already gotten with Zalbar and Mission, if you want to add more gear to them, is Vandor, Chewie, and Kira. Those would be the two main ones that you can add to your Zalbar and your Mission, and then also your L3 that's currently at 3 stars. So those may be 3 characters you want to work on and creates a viable next team for you. The other one is, again, going to be a little bit more predictive, and that's going to be your Fallen Bastila. Now, Fallen Bastila works really well with the Treya team and helps you kind of create a counter to a Revan team. This is also more predictive in what may or may not be coming here at the end of the month, and so Candris Ordo would be another character that you would want to start farming as well from your regular Cantina. So it just kind of depends on which direction you want to go. Personally, I would focus on your Kira team because we know that the Kira, Vandor, Chewie, L3, Mission, and Zalbar team does work out very well. And so that would be a team that you can utilize early. It's a really good team in territory battles and territory wars, especially since you really don't need
His
the
troopers
Kira
are
elite
amazing.
for territory battles. The combination of Zalbar, Mission, and Vandor Chewie is typically enough in order to hold most of the time. Then you add L3 in there, you don't really even need a leader ability. And so that team will help you a lot in territory battles where you may be forced to have a leader in some particular places, especially in the later phases of territory battles. So that would be something to consider as well. Primarily with like the last phase of TV where you're forced to use a Rolo, but it's only light side, it's not rebels, and so you can stick those scoundrels behind her. That's typically what I do on that node too. So
it's probably got to be a slog for him right now, though, because he only has Kira at 4-star, Gear 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a longer term farm.
This is a really good roster. I mean, the teams that are not done is gear. It's not farms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a lot of things that could use gear, but I wouldn't use your energy on gear. We said it before.
Never
Get your characters to 7-star first, right? That's the main thing. That's what we know will not change.
Yeah,
7-star
really
as a top on characters is the maximum.
Oh, this is a good roster for his GP.
So
level.
yeah. So overall, you're doing a really good job in building your roster.
Enjoy Revan.
Some of the characters you may want to work on right now for gear. Obviously, your Revan team. That should be a first priority, right? And again, we focus on getting to gear 11 first before going to gear 12. And so you have a lot of characters going to gear 11, which is good. Another character you may want to start getting to gear 11 is your Resistance Trooper. That way you have that for your Jedi Training Ray team. Even before anything else, right? That one character can make a huge difference on your Jedi Training Ray team.
Yeah.
I know your Zeta Finn is only gear 9, so if you want to work on your Zeta Finn in order to create a second Resistance team, I'm trying to find your Poe. Your Poe is gear 10, so he may be another one, and then you can work on maybe getting 2 Resistance or like half Resistance teams. That would be something else that you can focus on. Where is Jolie? Look at Jedi here and figure out where the Jolie Bindo is.
Jolie is 7-star gear 8.
Gear 8. Okay, so Jolie. So again, Revan team first. So you got to get your Revan, your Jolie, your Grandmaster Yoda is gear 11. You got to get him to gear 12 with all of the pieces. I'm using a Grandmaster Yoda at just gear 12 with no gear 12 pieces afterwards, right? So he's 0 of 5. And you notice the difference because all of the pieces of Grandmaster Yoda at gear 12 give him health. It makes him so much less squishy. So getting Grandmaster Yoda, all of those pieces is going to be important. Same thing with Jedi Knight Revan. So those two will probably keep you preoccupied for a little while. You also had the gear to work on Jolie and Bastila. And so gear focus, I would say, is completely on the Revan team. You have 4 of the 5 characters. Your Kenobi is gear 12, so he's fine. But 4 of your 5 characters require a good amount of gear or difficult gear to get, like Grandmaster Yoda. So that's where your initial priority should be with that. Then you can work on a character like Resistance Trooper if you want to get him ups for your Resistance teams as well. But overall, you've done a really good job on focusing and building. So just continue that way. I think you're already working on your Revan team since you just got him. So good focus from that perspective. And yeah, so let's take a look at your mods. And hopefully, being that you're in my guild, I don't have to yell at you about mods. Okay. No huge issue with your mods. It looks like you have some of your fastest mods on your Enfys. I don't know if you're switching her in and out on your team. I see her sometimes and sometimes I don't. So it looks like maybe Enfys is coming in situationally, which is in that case, I don't have an issue with where you have your mods. They're on your arena team primarily. So I see CLS at the top. I see R2. I see Enfys. C3POs near the top. Then you see some other ones like Thrawn and whatnot. So overall, no major issue with your modding. Now, if you wanted to work on getting your mods trying to think what you could do in order to get them a little bit better. So I'm taking a look at each of your characters. So your Han Solo. Okay. One thing you can do with your Han Solo, for example, is that you're running like a potency secondary stat on or primary stat on the cross and a speed arrow. You can drop Han Solo's speed a good bit and just focus on flat offense and offense primaries. Increases his damage by quite a bit. Han Solo hits like a truck anyways. And so if you can get a good mod, and I can look right now to see if you have one, that has a offense primary with a speed secondary on the arrow. Okay, the only one you have is a little bit lower on Plo Koon, but yeah, so then without speed, you have a little bit. It doesn't look like you've been saving many arrows without speed. I'm just taking a look at your arrows, and they're all very much speed oriented. So what I would recommend for you with your mods is you have to diversify your mods more. You're very high on speed, which is good. It's one of the really good stats on the arrows, but we are at the point now where we need to diversify our mods for a lot of different game modes. Offense has a huge viability. Protection, we saw, has a big viability with Treya teams when you're facing Revan. We've seen the use of Tenacity on Treya potentially, or on Enfys if you wanted to do that team. So we're seeing a lot of different stats that are starting to have a use. So while you have a lot of speed arrows, which is definitely good, we do need to start diversifying your mod collection a little bit more. So that would be where I would say next is where you want to go, is diversifying your mods in general. You focus them well on your characters, and it's not a mod depth problem where you don't have a lot of mods. You have a lot of mods, and your first page ends at plus 12 speed when you sort by speed secondaries. So you have a good number of mods. We now have to try and get specialized mods, which is kind of like the next tier of modding. It keeps on getting more complicated and complicated as you get farther and farther into the game. So you went from getting all of the mods and having good mods now. Now we have to specialize each of the characters in order to build your squads. So nothing wrong with where your mods are right now, 10 Bears. Now it's all about getting those specialized mods and maybe getting your characters to excel a little bit more at what they do best. And like Han Solo, for example, is going to be a little bit more damage, right? And you have speed and damage on your Chewie, so that's fine. Your old Ben is pretty tanky, so that's also pretty good. You can maybe drop a speed set on him if you want. If you're using that team, you may also want to consider Kenobi instead of old Ben, because he taunts out a turn, and then you can make it tankier. But again, just depends on what your struggles and everything are in Arena. But once you get your Revan team up, you'll be able to go higher.
Kenobi.
And let me check your fleets. And you're getting high in fleet, which is good. I'm just checking to make sure that your pilots have 5-dot mods on them, and it looks like they do.
I don't think, you'd be shocked.
You have a Poe, which is also good. So your mods are definitely good as well on your pilots. So you have done a good job on your modding.
There you go.
Nathaniel Morgan.
What?
Yes, they do get more and more complicated. Ain't it fun?
Shut up, Finn. You better start working on your mods. We're gonna work at your Ross one day, Graham. You're gonna get it.
One day.
Is there anything?
That's it. That was it.
That covers everything. Yeah. I know he's in.
Oh, there's one thing I noticed. He has no Zetas on Revan.
No, well, not yet. No.
Not yet, and I'm okay with that as long as you have them saved up, right?
Yeah, just start working on it.
But I'm okay with not putting a Zeta on Revan, especially right now since he's not usable.
Totally agree.
So we said it before.
Of course, but still, I'm just pointing out he has no Zetas on Revan.
Yes. He also doesn't have a Zeta on Jolie or Grandmaster Yoda. So there's 5 Zetas there that you'll want by the time that your team is functional. So, yeah, that is a good point.
Keep it in mind.
Yep. You'll need 5 Zetas. Jolie, Grandmaster Yoda, and 3 on Revan.
A plethora of Zetas.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. 10 Bears?
Nice roster.
Yes, pretty good job.
10 bears, 1 porridge.
They're just debating flat Earth, and good lord, there's not a debate.
Did you really just say that, Stanley?
God in heaven.
God damn it.
He says, I have one save.
We've unleashed a monster, Ranger. Stanley used to be so quiet and everything, and he was nice, and now he comes out with the blue handkerchief, and now 10 bears.
I want you to stop it. 10 bears, I have one save, just unlock Treya and Zeta her up. That's fine.
Yeah. Your Treya team is definitely ready for a Zeta, so that's fine. Your Revan team is not. So you do need to start saving up those Zetas now.
Okay, there we go. All right, good. Now, if you want a roster review, Finn, how do they get a roster review from us?
Simple. Head on to the RSG Discord. The link is in the description, or you can head to realityscootgamers.com/Discord. Once you're there, send me a message saying you want to be on the roster review queue, I'll ask you if you haven't sent it to me, a link to your GG page, and then I will confirm. If I don't send you a message saying I have added you to the queue, then I have not added you to the queue, and make sure you message me after like a day or so, because I may need a reminder.
That's what I say. All right. So thank you guys for letting us look at your rosters. I hope the information was helpful. And if you do have questions, follow up with us. We'll be more glad to help you out. That's what we live for here, Finn. Alrighty then. I think it's time for some questions. Appropriate questions. Clean questions, sanely. Don't add any extra sauce stuff to it.
All right. Chris Van Horn. Question: Is 281 speed and 4,000 special power better than 255 speed and 5.5 or 5.3 thousand special power for Revan?
Speed is
Speed.
all that matters. I mean, if you get some of the extra goodies that you need for him, great. The more you can put on, the better. You know, but it's speed. It's speed. He's got to go first. And it makes a huge difference in battles. This is just PvP. I mean, if you're going second, you're playing catch up, and playing catch up sucks. That's all.
I'm starting to see more and more people using the Tarkin lead to outspeed lower speed Revans.
Yeah.
So
I mean, mine's
you want
3.
as much speed on Revan as possible, so those guys don't get you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using 306 with all the other bonuses. You can add that up, and it's quite high. So I'm definitely very, very cognizant of the fact that, and there's a couple that have a little bit faster speeds than my Revan, but it's like their Revan goes, my Revan goes, and I'd rather have that than, you know, their Revan goes, their team goes, and then I'm like, oh my good God and gravy. So, yeah. So don't do. Don't be having slow Revan cause spin good. Try to get the best speed on Revan cause your damage dealer's that little Hermit Yoda cause. Alright, next question please.
Matt Bailey. Question: I switched Chewie into my Revan team yesterday. All I have to say about that is thanks.
No, thank us. That's Mike. Mike came up with that strategy, and it's a pretty nice strategy. So I did not get any spirit shards, you son of a. I'm greatly vexed, Graham. I'm greatly vexed.
I'm about to do that group of events as well, so hopefully it gives me those shards too, because those are the ones I need.
Yeah. I mean, I only needed 5. I just wanted 5. I wasn't even being greedy, just to get her to 6 stars. God. Next question.
Dude, you should run a scoundrel team with Chewie and Han. You can kill the table in the first like.
Oh, I always when I'm doing these just show off like the. I know. I just show.
It's
highlight
hilarious, Chewbacca, man.
It's ridiculous. But no, when I'm doing stuff like this, I'm always highlighting the team that people are talking about at the moment. So wait, is it time for me to move yet? No, I can't move up from PvP. Okay, I won't. I can move up from ships. I'll do a ship battle. Next question, please.
Camille Buhalski. Question: Just got my fresh new Revan to gear 11. Is it possible to take down these fully geared Revan squads that occupy top 1? Any
Yes.
tips for mirror matches? I plan on using Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Jolie, GK, and Bastila.
All right, let's do a mirror match here. Let me just look at.
Well, we kind of just already answered that question. Have your Revan faster than their
Well,
Revan.
even if it's not, I'll do.
Even if it's not,
It's
there's
still a little bit
strategy.
RNG in there, but here I'll go do a match and what I do, and it's been working for me. You can see in my rank.
Yeah, you can have the fastest Revan in the world if you target the wrong character at the beginning.
So
you're screwed.
for what I do, a lot of people like to go after Hermit Yoda or Grandmaster Yoda first. I do not. I like to go for Revan. And
I am with you actually. I found that going after
that's-
Revan first is better.
It's way better. It just works out better. You know, it for me. It just.
You like going after Revan instead of Grandmaster Yoda?
Yep.
Yeah, first. I have found that it works out better for me when I go after Revan instead of Yoda.
Yep. And
And that's
Because
against
then he-
faster and slower.
yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, if I kill him, I kill him, and if he gets revised, I don't care because after that, once he's down, then I'm going after Jolie, straight up. I mean, no
8
hesitation.
spirit shards.
I hate
Yeah, I'm
you.
going to have to try that out next time I climb.
All right, so the Revan's he's going to use his thing. Oh, good, he's going after Basila. So, so Revan's been killed. Now I'm going after Jolie. There's no, so I've already got Revan down. The revives hit, so I'm going straight after Jolie. No hesitation, no doing anything. Kill him.
Yeah, so Doja-san, and what he said is something that I've heard as well, which is that you want to see which one has less health and protection, right? Even with more health and protection, I have gone after Revan.
Yes.
I have found that everything works out better when I target Revan first instead of Yoda. So I typically always go after Revan now, and it works out a lot better. Now, it is a time-consuming attack, so it kind of gets annoying. But I have now just resorted to straight Revan attacks. There's another fun strategy here that has taken... So Nick Merck asked a question, why go after Revan first? Isn't Yoda squishier? So
it's not about that.
Yeah, what I have found is that direct focus increases the cooldowns.
Yep.
And so I get an extra turn without a direct focus on my team. Once I kill Revan, which I can kill Revan within kind of like the first turn and whatnot, what I find is that Revan comes back and then does a direct focus, but by that time he's already used up his res on Revan, right? Because he did it to himself, and now I have a little bit more free reign to attack targets.
Yeah, and even then, even if the real Revan goes first, it doesn't matter because I can dictate and keep my Revan up, right? If they target Revan, if they target anything but Jolie, I don't care. It's like, oh, you killed Kenobi, I'll just res him, and I'm still doing my plan. So it's worked out for me. I'm easily able to get past other Revans, and there's only a couple that have outspeeded me. I think one or two. The rest do not outspeed me. So it just makes things a lot easier.
The other thing too, and this one requires maybe a little bit more following, but in what I've been doing lately, strategic advantage is really fun because if you do it with Grandmaster Yoda, he has two abilities that can basically give him full turn meter. And the strategic advantage has a 1-turn cooldown when it gets transferred over. It's actually 2 turns, but then it becomes their turn, so it's down to 1. So when you use Grandmaster Revan and you use strategic advantage and you call Grandmaster Yoda does his basic, he gains turn meter. Now it's on his turn and he has a strategic advantage on a 1-turn cooldown. But if you have either of his abilities, the AoE, which will give him full turn meter, or his buff distribution, which will also then potentially give him, he gains per ally alive and all of that, so he gains like 80% turn meter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's 35 for himself plus 4, so 75% turn meter with his battle meditation. So whether he does his Master Stroke or his battle meditation, right, preferably it's the Master Stroke, he now gets full turn meter, and now he has his strategic advantage up, and now you can recall with Revan another attack, or you can call it with Basila or whoever you want, whoever does more damage. I typically call Revan. But you can basically get like 3 attacks back to back. But what you need to make sure is you know kind of what the cooldowns are on your Grandmaster Yoda. Because if he has his Master Stroke up, you're set. Like you use Revan, strategic advantage, Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda attacks, he'll gain turn meter with his basic. Then it's Grandmaster Yoda's turn. You do Master Stroke, he gains 100% turn meter. And now you call Revan to assist with Grandmaster Yoda. You've basically done like 5 attacks in a row. Right? So it's stuff like that I've been looking at and finding that makes my team a lot easier. So those were like, now that I'm playing around with it since I have Revan, those are some of the strategy things that I've been finding out really help with my Revan versus Revan battles. Making sure you're using strategic advantage correct with Revan and maximizing kind of its usage, which you can with like 5 attacks in a row. You do want to make sure, obviously, that your direct focus goes on someone early, and then you need to try and bring it back quickly as well, right? So when you have the option with Revan to do the Master Strategist, and then basically get a turn meter swap with another Jedi, you want to make sure that you're picking a Jedi that has a high turn meter. That way your Revan can get his direct focus up quicker. So it's little things like that, strategy-wise, that really help you with the Revan versus Revan matches, which a lot of the times the AI does not do on the opposing side. And so that's kind of the difference in the mirror matches.
Strategery.
I just took out a boss.
Strategery.
I just took out a boss team for 213,000 with my Kylo Ren. I love that ship. No, don't go after my Kylo Ren. No.
Yes, I know my phone was ringing.
Oh no, my Kylo Ren's gonna die.
Next question.
Paul Bracamonte. Question: I don't think I have a second team that can beat Revan. Should I put Revan on defense in Grand Arena or save him for offense?
So that's an interesting question. So one, you always want to see if your opponent has a Revan, right? If your opponent doesn't have a Revan, put yours on defense.
Oh yeah, they're in trouble.
So that one is simple. If your opponent also has a Revan, you want to see how their Revan is potentially modded. When you say you don't have a second team that can beat Revan, that also depends on what the strength of their Revan is, right? Like if they have a really fast Revan, then maybe you want to save yours. But if they have a slower Revan that you can outspeed with your Thrawn, then you can do a Traya team that can beat that team. Or you can set up your Traya team with the Fallen Bastila, right? And a heavy protection and tenacity-based Traya in order to beat that Revan team. And here's the thing to kind of consider, right? And again, it's all about scouting your opponent. If you save your Revan and the opponent puts his Revan on defense, you now don't have Revan on defense. He does. Can you beat his Revan team and get more points than he can beat whatever you put on defense, a Traya team or something like that? Maybe, maybe not. It's all part of the strategy of Grand Arena and really does make it so you have to know what your opponent has. So it's not like a general thing you can advise. Depends on how they have their mods going, how they have their characters. But a Traya team with the Fallen Bastila can beat a Revan team as long as you have them properly modded. So general thing I would say if you want to work on something is mod your Traya team. Now, especially if you have Revan, then you want to put your Traya team probably as your Revan killer and put your Revan on defense, especially if you think you have a strong Revan team. Right now, mine, for example, I'm missing a Gear 12 plus piece on my Revan. He's still 309 speed, but he's missing a Gear 12 plus, and my Grandmaster Yoda has no Gear 12 piece. He's Gear 12, but he's 0 of 5. So that means my Grandmaster Yoda is kind of squishy, and so I will probably not put my Revan on defense until I finish off my Grandmaster Yoda, at which point then I'll be more confident in its ability to last on defense against other teams. CLS, what's the team now? It's Finn, C3PO, Resistance Trooper, Han, and CLS. That is also a counter.
Han and Chewie is the one I've been seeing. Not
Han
CLS.
and Chewie, or you can do. I've seen CLS and Han as well.
Yeah, there's a guy that actually runs. Let me go back to this. I know
yeah, it's a Zeta Finn team that's used to climb. It doesn't work very well on defense.
No, it works pretty well on defense. This guy is always there, so he's there. He's number 4 right now.
Yeah, the one that I see right now,
it's
like
Finn,
in my general vicinity,
it's
is
Finn.
as well.
Yeah, Resistance Trooper, 3PO, Han, and Chewbacca. It does really well. Now, if you know how to beat it, you just go after their burn their Finn, especially if you go first.
Well, yeah, it's not a defensive team, but I'm saying if he wants an offensive team in order to beat Revan in Grand Arena, right? Mm-hmm. That's another team you can work on. So that's another solid team.
Lead with Thrawn and the Triumvirate takes down Revan like, it's not even a meta team.
Yeah, I mean, so there are a lot more combinations now that you can use in order to beat Revan teams. So I would say start to use one of those. The Zeta Finn team tends to work the most consistently right now, I think. So that's the one that I would say you probably want to work on and then put your Revan on defense more likely than not if you can build that team.
Great.
Next question.
Who should I start farming in Cantina, Canderous Ordo, or Ewoks? I did not get 3PO.
Ewoks.
Yeah, I'd say Ewoks.
Pillars, man.
Go for what you know, especially when it's good. You don't have to just go after what may be coming. You know C-3PO is good, so.
Mm-hmm.
Take down games. Question: hoard everything for end of the month, even after droid rework. Still heavily expecting KOTOR event. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I don't want to say hoard everything if you have to work on Revan or stuff. I know
no,
Xylon
that's
has
different.
Revan, so it's different. But
yeah, I mean, if there's certain characters you need to get done to 12 or something for your arena or something like that, yeah, you got to do it. Revan's one of those characters. But anything other than that, hoard. And even after droids come out, they say mid-February they come out, let's wait. See what happens.
Yep, let the whales play with it first, see if it's worthwhile, and then
don't go crazy. Don't just wait. Just be patient. We will definitely be there to make sure that you guys are going in the right direction. So just wait, hold your stuff, and then if we give you the okay and we get through February and nothing happens, or beginning of March or there's nothing announced, then we'll be like, okay, droids look pretty solid, go for it. You know, something like that. So, but yeah.
Tilo Mad 92 question: in a mirror match with Revans, could you substitute Bastila for Ezra to do more damage, and also has a dispel and assist like Bastila because Yoda steals buff away from opposing team?
Substitute Chewie for Bastila.
Yeah, not Ezra. That's the only substitution.
Bastila is better than Yoda. I mean, Bastila is better than Ezra. But if you want a better counter, put in Chewie.
Yeah.
Hermit Yoda also works if you're replacing GK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GK for Hermit Yoda. That's totally fine.
John Davies question: do you think a full Old Republic team will be better than the Han Solo film team?
Don't know yet. I mean,
one of them has Revan and Jolie, so yes.
Oh, I'm thinking like without that. I'm just thinking like if you had Old Republic like without Revan,
like the.
I mean, Revan's Revan. Yeah, you know, Karth with the rest of the guys. You know, maybe. You know, I'm just thinking of like if I still would go with the Scoundrels. They just can reach. Oh, they're so nasty.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would do it with the prep Scoundrels because you're saying the Han Solo team, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's just too many. There's too many options with Scoundrels that you can go along with. That I like. I mean, they've got so much versatility.
I think he means the Solo movie, Han Solo movie tunes. Not just Han, but like for me,
the Solo movie.
I mean,
I use OG Han and Chewie on my Kira-led team instead of Mission and Zalbar, and that one's just as brutal.
But not Han Solo team, right? So that's the problem. Because now you're using young Han and young Lando and L3 and Kira and Vandor Chewie. I don't think that team is as potent as if you're running other Scoundrels. Zalbar Mission, Han Chewie, whatever it is. If you throw in an Enfys in there. I mean, technically Enfys can work, but she probably wouldn't make that team if you're making a prep team.
True. Who you got running against who and that kind of stuff. So
Revan wins.
One of the big drawbacks about like young Han is the AI doesn't use him correctly. Nope. The AI screws you over. He never uses his roll the dice, which makes him super speedy and hit like a freaking freight train.
I blame Finn.
Helenix, my Jedi Knight Revan is about to hit Gear 11. My Jedi Bastila is at Gear 11, but my Jolie is still Gear 9. Should I switch to a Jedi Knight Revan Squad Arena team today using my Jedi Knight Revan Bastila Grandmaster Yoda and Gear 12 General Kenobi and Gear 12 Hermit Yoda today?
If it'll make you improve in Arena, yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That team is definitely viable.
Yeah.
As long as you got the right Zetas.
Yep. Zetas and mods.
10 Bears. Question: R2 didn't make the cut for Anakin's ship. Which pilot and ship will R2 co-pilot? Probably Jedi Luke if we ever get him.
Mm-hmm. Red 5.
Red 5.
Mm-hmm. 10 Bears. Question: what is the history of RSG Psy? Why Psy?
Well,
because we were originally Team Skunk Psy.
Yep. When I was
And we have
originally
kept the Sai as the moniker of the guild as we have gone through several changes, but maintained most of the players every time. It just the Sai stuff.
It should be renamed to SIGN or SIGH. The other Sai.
No.
Oh, back on the R2 question, I just remembered. We could get whiny Anakin's Naboo starfighter that he could be a pilot on.
Now this is pod racing.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Oh, I want that ship in the game just for the names of the abilities.
God.
Tilo Mad 92. Question: best way to mod Bastila?
I went
Fast, and then I like potency.
Yeah.
Ouchie Dumpling. Question: would the roast my roster idea be good for the charity stream? I don't really want a traditional roster review, but I'd sign up and donate to get my roster roasted.
Sure.
Yeah. We can do an ouchie roast your roster.
That reminds me, we got the Angel stream coming up this weekend.
That's right.
So the lovely ladies of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the Angels, as they are best known, are going to be raising money for RSG in the cancer run. And what are you giggling at, Stanley?
Helenix, he put Stanley Red, you are awesome, sir. RSG Psy LMAO.
Don't encourage him.
Exactly.
Helenix, if you keep encouraging him, I'm going to not read your stuff anymore. He's getting out of control. Stop it.
Yeah, the Angel stream is 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on the Planet Metaverse.
Operation Metaverse.
Yeah, Operation Metaverse. Deadpool Kyle, question for Grim. I've heard some refer to you as a mechanic. What kind of mechanic are you?
I am an automotive mechanic.
That's not true.
An automotive technician.
He is a X-wing and Y-wing mechanic. Don't let him play games with you.
No, I don't work on Rebel scum ships.
You mean to tell me, as a mechanic, if you couldn't work on the X-wing, you wouldn't work on it?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like saying, I don't want to move around with the Mustang. Get out of here.
Paul Bracamonte, question: so is it better to toss strategic advantage back and forth, or is it better to leave it on Yoda so he can't be countered?
I like doing it back and forth, but when I need burst damage. Because I'll put it on Yoda and then use it in order to get Revan, and that gives me 5 attacks in a row. 3 by Yoda, 2 by Revan. So that's typically the way I do it. Now, I have left it on Yoda before as well, depending on the situation, but most of the time I go back and forth for extra burst attack.
Nick Merck, question: what's the most important character on Revan team to gear 12 first?
Revan.
Yeah, Revan.
Right.
And not just Gear 12, Gear 12 with the Gear 12 Plus pieces, because he needs his speed.
Nathaniel Morgan, question: is Padawan Ahsoka that bad or just kind of bad? Gonna use her with Anakin under Bastila.
She's not awful, but she's just never been that powerful. So there's a lot of easy counters to her. The best use I've actually seen for her is putting her as a lead for like my leftover Night Sisters.
That's some weird synergy.
Because she has a lead that gives a bonus to Night Sisters.
I know, that doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's a little weird. But that's where I've used her, actually. I've used her in Territory Wars. And that's, yeah, she's a leftover Night Sister team because of the evasion.
Doyason, question: how much of a bad idea was it to gear 12 and double Zeta on T3?
May I repeat the question?
How much of a bad idea was it to gear 12 and put a double Zeta on T3?
Right now, it looks like a bad idea, but there's a droid rework coming, and I can definitely see T3 being integral with his defense penetration. So maybe not so much in a month. Right now, it seems kind of silly.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the new droids kits are before coming to a conclusion on that one.
Yeah, we're not even sure that it's even going to be arena worthy. It could just be raid worthy, for all we know. Azarias, question Zeta order for Revan. Thanks.
Leader, direct focus, and then hero.
Kazakagi, too easy. Question: do you think XR Kun will come to the game?
Possible. It wouldn't shock me if he did.
I would be one of the happiest people on the planet if you did.
Wasn't he made canon in the Solo movie?
Yep.
Yeah. So it is possible, but very unlikely.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe XR Kun is the solo character that's coming into the game.
Yeah, right. Bjorn Rodiger. Question: usually a meta dominating character lasts about 6 to 9 months in arena. Can you imagine a character kit that can top Revan? Did CG screw themselves with us and us with his insane kit?
God, so many buffs on the screen. So we have discussed this before, and there have been metas that have lasted this long, if not longer, actually. Treya, if you remember, was the dominant meta for a huge amount of time until Revan came out. Like, ridiculous amount. She was meta. The other is much older, and it's the old Sunfac meta, where you just either had Sunfac or you didn't, because he was so tanky and there was almost no way to get around his taunt, that Sunfac was just the most dominant character, and he was pay to play only. From, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Chromium or if it was from the Erodiums at the time, but yeah. So it's not unprecedented to have a meta last this long, but what is the, how do I put this? Revan's kit is a compilation of so many characters that he is almost the definition of power creep right now. That is the part that's more concerning. Not the length of the meta, because we've seen this before, but it's the way that his character kit is built out with so many different composites of other characters that he really is just a combination of other characters. Like, he doesn't have a lot that's unique to himself. And so that's the kind of the part to be careful about with regards to Revan.
I blame Finn.
That's right.
Helenex, question for Ranger. I would really like to encourage Saintly Red, but I also don't want to suffer any infamous Ranger wrath. Can I encourage Saintly, but then blame Finn, thereby shifting blame elsewhere? I think that's science.
You're blaming Finn. That ain't wrong. Next question.
Kazakage, too easy. Question: do you think Lobot will get a Zeta leader for droids?
One day he might.
Yeah, he may.
Not anytime soon, though.
But Lobot wasn't part of the he was never part of the Separatists in any way.
No.
I don't think.
No.
I mean, we didn't see him until the original trilogy, but I don't know how far back he goes. I have no idea the history of Lobot.
I don't either. That's a good question.
So it's yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Eric Estrella, question for the Thrawn/Magma team: will Tarkin be a good leader instead of Thrawn, and what other two characters can be put without breaking up other teams?
Okay, so no to the first part, because the whole premise of the Thrawn Magma team is that Thrawn gives turn meter, and if you put Tarkin as the leader, now Magma no longer gains like the 90% turn meter as a result of his unique plus the Thrawn leader. So definitely no to the Tarkin lead. As for the other part of the question, so now you have Thrawn and Magma. You actually have 3 other characters that you're using, right? So one of the characters needs to be Death Trooper. And basically what you're doing is you're turn meter swapping your Thrawn with your Death Trooper so he can do his AoE and reduce the cooldowns on the opposing Treya team. so that they're not able to do the Drain Force or anything on the first turn. So after Thrawn, Magma, and Death Trooper, the other ones are not quite as important. You can use other characters that may be able to help. You can do a Stark works really well because you can get an AoE stagger. So Stark works really well. You can also do potentially like a Royal Guard if you want like an additional taunt maybe to cover for your Magma in case he starts getting low. But yeah, the main three, Thrawn, Lead, Magma, Death Trooper, and then potentially you can use a Stark because his AoE is good, and then you can also maybe add a Shore Trooper or Royal Guard just for an additional tank.
And that was the last question.
Hooray!
What?
Nice.
What is happening? I don't know.
We're pretty much on time.
We got one last one here.
Okay.
Revenator question: since new droids are coming to the game, specifically droids that were introduced during episode 1, will we finally get the long-awaited pit droid?
Pit droid? I'm at a loss. I don't
The
remember.
pit droids were in the pod race. You know, like they were the ones fixing up.
Yeah,
The
I don't think so.
pod racers.
Yeah. I would imagine no. But if we do get a like a ground vehicle thing, that would be pretty cool. And then I want the announcers too.
God.
Well, as long as they don't treat like ground vehicle battles like they did ships.
What,
No.
started out at 5 and then change it to 3? Hooray! All right, we're done with questions. Haha.
Haha, science.
Haha, haha.
All right, Finn, you want to talk about that ACS stuff?
Sure. So we're still raising money for the American Cancer Society. Please help to the Tiltify page if you guys are able to donate. It'd be much appreciated. Join us during the live stream tomorrow. We're going to be trying to do something. It's not guaranteed, but we're going to be trying to do stuff during the stream as well. For those of you that can donate. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Science.
We have a 12-hour live stream on February 16th, so make sure you guys do join us for that. We're planning all the games and stuff now. Stanley, do you want to talk about the tournament? We'll see if there's an interest for it.
Yeah, if we get enough people interested in doing a Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament during the 12-hour stream, we'll definitely put that in there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're looking for anyone that would like to participate in said tournament. It'll be a one-on-one tournament, and so all you have to do is head to the RSG Discord, go into the Sanely Red Gaming channel, and just type that you're interested in it. We'll see how many people we have interested and see what we can set up for a tournament for that.
Nice. Do it. I like you. All right. And remember the Angel stream this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. That'll be happening as well. So I think that covers everything. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out our Patreon. And with that, we'll call this lunch stream done. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you guys for stopping in. Very much appreciated. Love all you guys. Be safe. I'll be doing Battlefront here in about 4 hours. So be ready for that. So everyone have a great rest of your day. And we will holler at you later. Peace.